If you want to learn from the pros and become the best Madden player possible, check out Playbook GG. Link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and today I'm going to be showing you one of the best money plays in Madden. This play literally does beat every defense in the game. It's a pain to stop, and it will help you sustain drives and help you score a lot more points. Now, really quickly, before we get into the breakdown, you saw the intro. We are affiliated with Playbook GG now, so if you are interested in checking out some of their game plans or their guides, and you are interested in supporting the channel as well, definitely make sure to click my link in the description or in the pinned comment below. It does help support the channel. We do get a little bit of a kickback from that. So today, we're going to be in the gun A slot offset, probably my favorite formation in the game overall this year. The play we're going to be breaking down is the level-wise sail. You can find this in the Patriots playbook, the Seahawks playbook, and I believe the pass balanced playbook. So those are a couple really good playbooks. Patriots best playbook in the game. If you have custom playbooks, definitely add this. Now, couple things to note before we get into the play. Number one, you always want the running back on the short side of the field. So you see we have placed the ball on the right hash mark. That means we have the running back on the right side of the field. If the ball was on the left hash mark, the opposite hash mark, we would flip the play at the play call screen so that he'd be running to the opposite side. Now, the next thing is the setup for the play. Super simple. All you need to do is take the B receiver, put him on a streak. He's just pretty much there to run off zone coverage. That's it. So this is a really great quick hike play. You can get to the line, snap the ball really quickly. So we're going to go over all the defenses that this beats. So I'm going to show you some specific adjustments people might try to do to stop the play, and I'm going to show you how to beat those adjustments. So make sure you do watch the entire video, as it is important. If you master this play, it will be extremely hard to ever get stopped in this game ever again. So the number one thing with this play is the running back route, and that's why we put him on the short side of the field, because it's very hard to defend. If your opponent does not shade his defense down, you hit him every play, and you will get at least 4 yards. Typically, you'll get like 5 to 6, sometimes more, just depending. But this play, you typically will get at least 5 a play, which means you'll move the chains every couple of downs unless they shade underneath. But if they shade underneath, then they're going to be vulnerable elsewhere. So first, we're just going to show a standard cover 3. And again, they don't shade underneath. It's just a quick dump down. You get the ball. He got a really bad animation there, and we were still able to get 5 yards. Sometimes the running backs in the flats, or not just running backs, just players in the flats in general get dumb animations sometimes. You see there, we got about 6 yards before we juked. Got an extra yard, maybe 2 from the juke, which is also another good thing with this play. This type of a route, when you get to the outside, I mean, you see how easy it is. It's super easy to make that first guy miss. Spin him or juke him, whichever you like better. With these type of routes, I kind of like to juke more than I like to spin, just because it just seems a little easier. But you see how easy this is. We're getting 6 yards before the juke, and then after the juke, maybe an extra yard or 2. Super simple. Now, before we shade the defense down, I want to show the in routes on the play, because the in routes are also going to be open for easy yard. You see the tight end right there, got about 7, almost 8 maybe. He's going to be there every time as well. And then you have the outside wide receiver, who is AJ Green here. You get it with him, you go up the middle, you see you've got about 12 yards. Play destroys a regular cover 3. So now you're thinking, okay, well, if they shade down, that's going to take away a lot of this stuff, right? So they shade down, that's going to take away our running back route. But what happens is that completely opens up this corner route, which is one of the best corner routes in the game. This corner route and the deep corner route and gun bunch are probably the 2 best corner routes in the game, because most tight end corner routes in the game this year, they don't cut like this. They don't cut at that sharp angle. They kind of round off their cut, and that just allows them to be defended so much easier. They're worse against man defense, and they don't quite get underneath those deep zones on the outside. So we'll show it again. We'll shade down, and we have Jalen Ramsey on the outside there. Doesn't really get much better than that, and you see he's just underneath that all day for a huge gain. So if our opponent shades down, they're actually giving us a bigger gain. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, well, a good player is going to shade down and just user the corner, right? So we're going to man this guy up on the corner to simulate a user. Now, normally when you shade down, that's going to make routes like this Y route to the tight end, it's going to be harder to hit that, because this linebacker right here, he's going to play shallow. We might be able to catch that for 3 yards, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but you're not going to be able to get significant yardage with it. But the problem is, in order to user this tight end, you have to take one of these guys out of the equation. So we're manning him up to just simulate a user going over there to guard the tight end, and when you do that, well, then of course this is wide open again now, because that linebacker, that user, has to vacate the area to go get that corner route. So you see we still were able to pick up, you know, good yardage there. So again, we'll shade down. we'll man him up just to simulate that. So even if for whatever reason you kind of were late on your read, you're looking at the running back, you're like, oh, nothing's open. Oh, let's say Y's not open. Well, you can still hit X when he comes across. We got, you know, bit by the practice mode instant block shit there, but we'll just go to the replay and show you AJ Green was coming wide open. You can see right here, I mean, there's nobody in this area, and like right as we're about to throw the ball, you know, we're just kind of getting hit with the instant like shed here. We kind of actually got sucked into the defender, as you can see, but AJ Green's coming wide open. So we have multiple options no matter what they do in a cover 3. So now let's go cover 2, because cover 2 is probably the next most popular coverage you're going to see. Same setup, just streak B. Now, cover 2 sometimes will defend this better or worse. It really kind of depends. You see there we got like 7 yards. The thing is with a cover 2, obviously you have that outside cornerback in a cloud flat. So he is closer to the flat area than the safety is in a cover 3. So there are going to be plays where the cornerback's going to make a good play on it, and he'll limit you to about 4 yards, which is still fine. As long as you're getting 4 yards of play, you're going to keep moving the ball. But what happens a lot of times in cover 2 is you can see, look how he just like over commits to the inside. Like he bites inside to the corner route a little too heavy. And then you can see right here with Joe Mixon, we already got outside leverage on him. It's too late. We're throwing the ball. We got outside leverage. We catch it. We go up the field. And we got about 8.5, almost 9 yards against a cover 2, which shouldn't happen. The cover 2 should really limit this to 5, you know, 5 or less every single time, but it doesn't. It's not going to do that every single time. You see, again, we got outside there. We got a really bad animation on the catch. Still got 6 yards. And this is against cover 2. Now, if they shade their cover 2 down, something I don't think you'll see too often, because you let up just really big plays when you do that. But if they do that, well, then again, corner route is, I mean, just wide open at this point. Just, I mean, it doesn't get any more open than that. And then again, if they shade down and they say, okay, I'm going to shade down and I'm going to go cover this guy right here, you know, with the linebacker. Well, I mean, you're in the same situation now. It's just, you know, you pick one of these end routes over the middle, you go get 5 or 6 yards. If this isn't a play you're going to pick up 20, 30 yards a pop with, this is a play that you can literally grind people down the field with in a way that there's nothing they can do about it. Now, of course, in cover 2 as well, you're going to also have the X route to AJ Green, which we'll show. He kind of got bumped really hard there, but either way, he's going to get over the middle. I mean, the defender defended it well that time, but we still got decent yardage. Sometimes he will get bumped like you saw right there, and he kind of was in, you know, a little bit tighter coverage, but then there's also times where you're going to be just wide open like this, and you see, okay, we got 10 yards. Took a hit, but got 10 yards. All this stuff is going to be cover 2 the same. Now, you might see somebody play cover 2 and say, okay, you know, a smarter player might take this guy here, and he might double flat this side of the field. What that means is the outside corner is on a cloud flat, so he's going to take care of that corner route, and now this linebacker is in a hard flat, or maybe he'll man him up on the running back. One of the two. Either it works the same way. So now this guy's shooting to the hard flat to take that away. And then with that, they're going to maybe try to user these in routes over here. But when somebody does something like this, I want you to watch how open the tight end gets like immediately. And when you see this, you can literally just high point the tight end and he'll usually catch that ball. Because he didn't catch it there, but what's going to happen, I'll show you, because most people base align their coverage, which means this cornerback's going to be way out here. So again, if they try to do like something like this and then they want to use these in routes over here, what's going to happen is you're going to see, like you see it immediately. You see how open Eifert gets. You throw a high point and you aggressive catch it, and that's an easy 15 yards. And you can't use or defend those high points. It's extremely hard. You're usually never going to get the animation. So to do that, you hold the LB or L1 button, and then you press the tight end's icon, which in my case is A, LB or L1, A, and then you hold the Y or triangle button to aggressive catch it. So that's how you would beat somebody doing that. Now let's show man defense. So man defense, again, that's where this corner route is going to shine. This corner route is going to make crazy separation the majority of the time, of course, right there. Just because we're doing a video, that's kind of how things work with Madden. Anytime you're recording a video, things don't want to work as good as they normally do. But typically, you're going to get that type of separation right on the cut. You throw it on the cut, you're going to get good separation against man. You do need a good route running tight end there. This is one of those routes that even though it's very good, you still need good route running to create that separation. So you see again, you're going to create that separation on the break if it's man. Just make sure you have a guy that's at least in the 80s of route running. You can't have a guy that's like in the 70s. It's not going to work as good. Now, of course, against man, you also still have the in routes as well. You can see Y here. And, you know, this guy is not even like an amazing tight end. He's like a below average tight end on the game. You see, easy 5 yards against man. You can have your worst tight end there. That doesn't matter. That Y route's going to pretty much get separation no matter what. Route running doesn't really matter there. And then, of course, your X receiver is where you're going to kind of have your best route runner. He's going to beat the cornerback easy in man. And you see, got a huge gain there, but we would have at least, if he would have made a good tackle, we would have still got 5 yards. So all that's good and dandy. So now, let's back out real quick and just show a couple other things that you might see. So we'll go to a cover 4 drop, because a lot of people like to run that as well. Not as much as in years past, but they still run it. So again, here we go. Here's like a regular cover 4. So same setup, just streak B. So okay. Easy to the flats, get your 5 yards. Broke the tackle, but we got 5 yards, you know, without breaking the tackle. And then, of course, if they shade down, same thing. Even though this is a cover 4, this corner route is going to get underneath the coverage because it's just that good. It runs at the perfect depth. If it ran a little bit deeper, then it would run right into Jalen Ramsey and we wouldn't be able to do anything with it. But because it runs at that perfect depth, we can get underneath him. Again, you know, you still have the in routes underneath, both in routes. Very simple to go to. Again, if they shade down, but they have to go user, you know, the A route because the outside zones are not going to really defend that corner route. Well, again, you still have Y wide open there, and then you see coming across you have X on the back end. If for whatever reason they try to bait you into Y, then you go to X. Very simple. One last thing I want to show with this is like versus a nickel blitz type look, because you still will see a lot of nickel blitz online. This is another great play against nickel blitz. And just while we're on the topic though, you know, the other good thing about this formation is it's got so many good plays in it. It's got the inside zone. It's got the 0-1 trap. 2 really great shotgun runs. It's got the posts play. It's got the China double in. Like, this formation has so many good plays outside of just this one play, that's what makes it even worse, is that this play alone is so hard to stop, but when you mix everything else this formation has to offer, it's a very tough formation to stop. So here we'll just show nickel blitz. So the thing with nickel blitz, if you're seeing someone that runs a lot of this and they're vacating this guy's coming off the edge, well, I mean, you just instantly, you can still hit, of course, the running back if they don't shade down, but something that's really good about this is you just have the instant in route open right here for easy yards because he's vacating that area. So that's something else you want to pay attention to as well. So that is the levels Y sale, one of the best plays in the game. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Check out some of these other videos here, and as always, I will see you guys next time.